Hello? Hello, hello. Hello. Okay. Bear with me, y'all. Just getting everyone online. Can you hear me? Oh, I can't hear you. I believe this happened last time, too. How did we fix this? Are you muted or... Uh, maybe I switch my speaker? How about now? No, nothing? Okay, you can hear me, but I can't hear you. That's so strange. Volume is good. Yeah, I can see Discord picking you up for sure. Your voice, at least when you speak. But the actual sound isn't coming through. Uh, yeah, I think this happened last time too. Your volume is at 100%, about halfway. Mm, let's see. Voice activity is on. Speakers nano? No. Voice settings? Let's see. Hmm. Try saying something now.
Yes.
There we go.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, there we go. I got it. Woo! All right. I just had to switch the microphone into the internal microphone,
Gotcha.
which I don't know for what reason it wasn't already set to that, but it should have been.
Probably because last time we had to do some bullshit
to make it
to
work.
get to work last time.
Yeah. Ooh, alrighty. Well, we finally got that resolved. All right, but just to make sure, I want to check my audio on my stream to make sure you sound clear, I sound clear, all the above. So give me 1 second. I would recommend that you say something real quickly though, so I can see and hear.
Just something real quickly so you can see and hear.
The above. So give me 1 second. I recommend that you say something real quickly though, so I can see and hear. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Oh, that's perfect. All right.
I wish there was a better way to test this stuff.
I know, right? Actually, I saw a tip on that. Actually, essentially, they recommended that you have like a second Twitch account and have like the exact same build, and then like test it out there first, and then come back to your main account and do your actual stream. So it's like a test Twitch account or something like that, which is not a terrible idea.
I guess, but
All right. Anyways, we're good. So, hello everyone. Hey guys, how are you guys? It's your host Drark and Hakume Tenshi, aka Angel.
what up?
Yeah, and we are back for another video on our channel, Drark Angel Podcast. So, welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah. So today we are going to be talking about the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet trailer that just came out August 3rd. A lot of information in it. And we're going to talk about what we liked, what we disliked, what we think about it, certain details that we saw that we're interested in and care less for. Yeah, so please join us, sharing your thoughts about the game, whatever you think about it, anything that you have to expect on it, and things of that nature. But yeah, without further ado, let's start off. We got a few topics we want to go over here with you guys. I also have the trailer presented in front of you. Whenever we want to check something out, we can. What I'll do is I'll kind of have it playing in the background, so without the sound, so that we can just talk. But of course, anytime you have any questions, we'll be able to go over it. But yeah, we'll go ahead and talk about some of the things we think about this trailer here. Hakume, let's start with you. What's overall impressions?
Believe it or not, I am actually quite hyped now.
Dun dun dun!
I know, it's unbelievable. People who know me know that I'm super critical as fuck, and like any minor, minuscule thing, I'll have a 2-hour tangent on it. But for this, they did good.
Yeah.
They did good, showing exactly what needs to be seen.
Yeah.
And not showing or saying anything that would, derail people from getting excited.
Oh, yes.
So, like, they did good.
Yeah.
I will say, I'm at the point where, like, usually when it comes to new Pokemon games, I only kind of watch, say, like, the reveal trailer, and then probably 1 or 2 trailers after that, and then I go completely dark because I want to go in blind.
Yeah.
And not gonna lie, I was gonna not do that for this gen because of like how much of Sword and Shield kind of I couldn't do it. And it's like, you know what? I'm gonna watch everything. I'm gonna keep my eye on this one.
Yeah.
Very closely because they're on thin ice for me. But I think they redeemed themselves pretty well so far.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't want to see any more after this. I want to do my blank safari when the game comes out.
Yeah. No, I'm on the same page, man. Honestly, I'm on the same page, and to be fair, I'm always excited for the new generation of Pokemon. I think that there's just something magical about a whole new world, a whole new set of Pokemon and experiences to go through. However, it's a little scary because the more generations are presented, the more we expect each generation to somehow surpass the prior one. And because of that, it's a little scary. And if I'm feeling a little scared about it, I can only imagine how the creators feel when they are just like, all right, guys, whatever we're about to create, has to be exceptionally better unless we want the whole Pokemon fandom to destroy us. So they must be working terrified to try to meet that expectation, which is it's in a way a good thing because it hopefully has a standard for them to keep. But at the same time, it just must be so stressful. I don't think I could do that. um, but the overall presentation of what this game has to offer, I think, is one of the most exciting things that I could say I've felt for a Pokemon game in a long, long, long time. Um, my favorite generation is Generation 3 solely because of the new Pokemon they introduced, which still to this day are some of my favorites. The story was pretty good too, but really it's just it gave me something for me to latch onto in terms of a game. Since then, none of the games have really given me something to latch onto per se. I still enjoyed them. I'm still a huge Pokemon fan. I play them all, but nothing has really just like grabbed me. I've just been playing them because I love the Pokemon series through and through. But just from what I saw in this trailer, there is so much to do and see, and I think that in itself is something for me to latch onto, because it's like, how do I say this? It's like Zelda Breath of the Wild, like you've played Zelda games before, and if you're a huge Zelda fan and you finally get like a giant overworld game in Zelda where you could just do nothing but explore with, Link, I think that's one of the best experiences you could have as a Zelda fan. Well, this is our turn as a Pokemon fan, to have this huge world where we can just explore and do everything we want to, finally, and spend countless hours on it. Not just going through your traditional playthrough, but just exploring and everything else that the game has to offer. So overall, very exciting stuff. Um, the next thing I wanted to talk about real quick is something that you mentioned about staying in the dark. Now, I actually went through uh, the entire time avoiding any spoilers. Really, really trying to avoid all spoilers. So there's so many. Um, and I actually follow some of the spoiler channels too, because for prior games I was always interested, but for this one I was like, let me not fully spoil myself. So every time I see like the name of the spoiler, I just scroll past that real quickly.
I mean,
um,
following the spoiler channels
I know.
probably doesn't solve the problem.
I know. I'm not gonna unfollow it though, because it's just something it's like a fix I need. um, but yeah, but nothing I've seen so far has really spoiled anything for me, except the freaking map. The 8K resolution map provided by the Pokemon Company for us to see and revel in and just really delve into what this game has to offer. And let me tell you right now, it looks fantastic. But nothing has given me more information on this game or quote unquote spoiled it for me the way this map has. Because you could literally see everything. You could see every nook and cranny where you're going, what you're doing, what you're gonna hope to explore, how you're gonna reach them, where to start, where not to start. Like literally, it shows you everything. And I was a little bit upset with myself for looking at it because the curiosity got to me. I was really excited to look at it and everything, but then I started to instantly regret it because I was like, oh well, there goes all the mystery and magic.
I saw the map. I didn't look at it.
So then let me save you from this one. Don't look at it.
I was gonna. But
Yeah,
like,
you got a good
I saw it.
picture. Yeah, you got a good picture of what's on it. That's great. That's all you need to see. Don't delve into it. If you don't want spoilers and if you just want to kind of like keep a little bit of mystery, my recommendation: do not, do not look into that map in full HD because it'll pretty much just tell you everything, everything. Um, On the bright side, though, I did a little bit of comparison between the map size of this game as well as the map size of Generation 8's map. Um, Huge. This map is absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. There's just so much area to cover and do. And the Generation 8 overworld map wasn't really big at all. But even in those small areas, there was always so much to do. There was always so many Pokemon to look for, to catch. Weather would change from time to time, which would allow you to, come across something new, which gave you always reason to come back to the area.
Yeah.
Overall, they did a really good job with just a little sample of what they had. And this game is like that times 1,000. It's
Yeah.
huge.
I was gonna say, and I feel silly about it because like I'm also playing the trailer.
Yeah.
See the overworld, how big it is and stuff.
Yeah.
But like from seeing the map, for some reason, it felt like everything was just really small but compact.
Yeah.
And I would have been okay if like the overworld was like not as big as maybe what we're expecting, but has a lot of stuff in it.
Yeah.
But like seeing the in-game stuff, like clearly this place is fucking huge.
Yeah.
So it's like that's cool. Like, yeah.
That brings me to the next point I have here. It's the gimmick and raids. So sorry, my dog just had a spasm. Cora,
Are they okay?
What are you doing? Jesus. Anyway, sorry about that. So yeah, that brings me to the next point, which is the gimmick and raids. Now, there's two points to this section. The gimmick and raids in itself is something I want to cover, what they are, what they entail, and all that stuff. But in connecting to the map, the raids were one of the biggest things in Generation 8. Even to this day, if you're still playing the Pokemon Generation 8 games, you're still doing raids. There's still legendary raids or unique events coming out or special Pokemon showing up in raids, whatever it is. There's still so much happening in these raids going forward, and it gives this small map so much replayability, so much longevity, and that was one of my favorite features because originally I didn't really care for the raid concept, but eventually it became something that I was very interested in and I really enjoyed doing with my friends. So the fact that it brought so much longevity to a game like that, it was something that I was happy existed. I didn't think that they would bring that kind of concept back. However, it makes perfect sense for a giant overworld like this. And the fact that you get this through the entire map. I don't know if you understand how much longevity this provides to this game. And there's so many things that do.
Yeah, and you're just talking about raids, right?
Yeah, like, I'm strictly talking about raids.
Yeah, just talk about the raids. Because for me, like, because I didn't play Sword and Shield, so
yeah,
I don't ever plan on going back.
Yeah.
I never understood the point of raids. Because it was like, all right, maybe I understand a Pokemon not being available in the game already. It's like, oh, it's available for a raid. Go fight it. Or, like, well, it's cool to do, like, one time ever, but once you do it, never go back. Or at least that's my idea.
Yeah.
For this, like, instantly, ignoring every detail surrounding it, it's like, okay, I definitely want to do raids.
Yeah. Because, okay, so something that I thought was cool about the raids before, it's just that the Pokemon you would get would be special in one way or another, depending on whether they had higher IVs off the bat, or if they had a specific Gigantamax version that you can't find in the wild to Dynamax. Little things like that made it pretty rare, but that wasn't even for every Pokemon. That was some Pokemon that could Gigantamax instead of Dynamax, and it was only certain Pokemon that even had that ability. Now, for this, not only can every Pokemon in this game have this gimmick, but every Pokemon has the ability to attain every type for this gimmick. That means that at the very least, you want 18 different versions of every Pokemon
Every
in this
Pokemon.
game. 18 different versions.
Ridiculous.
That is insane. Just the amount of replayability you get off of that is insane. Like I mentioned this in the review trailer I did, is even in the last game, in terms of like competitive battling, when you do Gigantamax, oh, I went a little too far with this video. When you do Gigantamax, in battles in competitive, it doesn't matter because usually the Pokemon that is going to Gigantamax gets more powerful, yes, but it's still the same type. So you still have a way to properly counter it. You know? You still know a strategy on how to counter that Pokemon. But with this, it doesn't matter if literally your entire team is psychic Pokemon. Because literally, all of them could have a different typing along with them that they could transform into, completely throwing you off your game, you know? So it's
Yeah.
it's there's no predicting exactly how you can counter everything. Now you literally have to just be prepared all the way through, because the odds that, you know, a Gardevoir, you're like, oh, he's got a Gardevoir, that's a psychic fairy, okay, let me bring a dark type, and then he comes out with like a bug Gardevoir. What the fuck? You know, just straight shut up, just you know, like completely changes everything. So even competitive battle is completely changing, and that's just, again, 18 different types for every Pokemon that will be in this game at the bare minimum for competitive purposes post game. That is insane. Absolutely, absolutely insane. Um, that just, like I said, the name of the game for this generation, in my opinion, is longevity. This game is
Definitely.
set to give you reasons to play for a long, long time. Like a
We're not
really
making
long
another
time.
Pokemon game for another 15 years.
Yeah. Exactly. Like,
Okay.
and then that's not to say that we don't. This is just from what we know. Who knows what kind of extra things they release later? Maybe like, for example, this could be the Dynamax version of the gimmick, but there could still be a Gigantamax version of the gimmick. You know, where instead of one type, they can terrestrialize to two types or some shit like that. We don't know for sure that that's going to happen, but again, this is really early on in terms of information we have, so very well could be something. Because the reason I think that's a possibility is because if right off the bat we have the ability to get all 18 types for every Pokemon, um, then what are they going to provide for us later on in game as like a motivational thing for us to get, you know? So it's got to be something special, either a type that they don't normally come across, or maybe double typing. You know, that's my opinion. Of course, it could just, they could try to play it where they are very careful not to give Gardevoir bug types unless it's like, you know, bug weekend and they
Well,
have that event.
I have somewhat of a theory
Yeah.
of how terrestrializing could work. I don't know if it's true because they didn't really explain everything about it, but there's one aspect of it that I find really interesting.
Yeah.
And it could be nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's funny because I just got to that point in the trailer. So, Sprigatito. I'm sorry if I fucked that name up.
No, that's pretty
But
okay.
the example they show us, they have the grass cat, and he has scratch, tail whip, leafage, and bite. Now, the thing is, the way they explain it, it sounds like each Pokemon that you have, each individual Pokemon, has like a set Terra type from the beginning.
Yeah.
And your starters are just going to have whatever type that they already are.
Exactly.
Which would seem useless Because, like, why would I want to, like, I'm already a grass type move.
Yeah.
So basically, all you're really getting out of it is, like, a double stab or something.
Yeah, yeah. Which is still nice, but yeah, it's just
It's
that.
nice. Yeah. So I was watching this, and I noticed that when you do terrestrialize, right, your whole move list kind of starts glowing green. And
yeah.
like, all right, if you do get extra stab, it would only make sense if you got that extra stab on your grass moves, because your grass type, you have grass terra type, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like, what if it also adds the grass type to your other moves?
Yeah.
So now you have dual type moves.
Yeah.
So you can do grass, terrestrialize, use bite. Now you have a dark grass move, and like, you got like 8 times weaknesses potentially, depending on what you're fighting.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
If that would be true.
And I saw, I'm trying to see if I could find the image on my phone again as we speak, but I saw an image that was trying to explain exactly how it works with like the Magnemites, because Magnemites could be electric or steel, but essentially what it does is, depending on the move that you select, if you have a terrestrialite, I can't even. I'm just gonna call it a T because it's too much of a confusing word. A T,
Terramax.
yeah, yeah, Terramax, yeah. If you have like a Terramax, that's steel on a Magnemite, and he uses like a steel attack, then that attack will have its stab for steel ×2. However, if you use like an electric move, it would just be the 1 stab, not 1.5 stab. And then, of course, the other way, if you have an electric terrestrialite and then you use electric attack, then that electric attack will have ×2 stab, but the other one will only have no stab, like just a ×1 for its damage. So it takes away 1 stab, but it gives it to the other one going forward. So it just depends on that. However, but that's for the typing. However, if you have, let's just say it has like Dark Pulse, which it gets 0 stab, but you get a T max of Dark for it, then that T max would do, or that attack would do 1.5 damage instead of just the 1, even though it doesn't have a stab. And then the other steel and or electric would just be the ×1. So it gives you the ability to get an extra bit of damage on the typing. And now that's just for the attack, which is useful, but that still also plays into the fact that it gives that Pokemon that typing. So it becomes a dark type Pokemon for this example, which again is massive. It's like Gardevoir and Incinerates on steroids, for every Pokemon. Which
Imagine Protein Greninja.
Protein Greninja with freaking... Oh, that's so broken. Imagine Protein Greninja with, like, I don't know, like, poison type terrestrialite, And then he's like that gunk move. He just does his protein, turns poison type, does that. Oh my god, that's just crazy. Oh, I really hope he's in this game, because that's just going to be crazy. Oh my goodness. And then Incinerates with Libero, he could probably do something similar to that too. So, wow.
That's another elephant in the room that I kind of have to address.
What's up?
National Dex.
Yeah.
Kind of important.
Yeah.
And okay, I swear from now on I'm gonna stop saying National Dex because last time we talked about it,
Yeah.
There was like a lot of confusion about what I actually meant.
Yeah.
What I mean when I say National Dex is I mean absolute full compatibility with Pokemon Home. Because right now, for whatever reason, Sword and Shield still has a ton of Pokemon missing out of the National Dex, and you can't trust those Pokemon.
Yeah.
There's no excuse for that anymore. There was never an excuse for it in the first place, but I'm really not letting it go this time.
Yeah.
So, Pokemon Home.
that's
What?
the one thing I can say right now. They've already mentioned that this will not be a full Dex game. They could do something like what they did last time with the DLCs later on, like let's say a year from now or two. Will they do a DLC and unleash some new Pokemon and whatever. They could definitely do that to welcome in more Pokemon that way. But excuse me, I don't think that they have plans to have all the Pokemon in game, or catchable in game. However, that does not say that post game, once you unlock, the ability to get more Pokemon, that they don't already have the decks capable of coming into this game going forward. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know for sure if they're going to. Now, to be fair, this gimmick does involve giving all of these Pokemon a new typing, and crystallization. So, you know, um, uh, uh, it really depends. But it's been some time. I think it's fair to say that they should be able to get the Pokemon into this game. Um, Now, one thing I will say is the only reason that I like that some Pokemon are excluded from the game is because I feel like it limits, or it provides a better challenge for competitive gameplay. Because typically in the older games, everyone always chose the same Pokemon, no matter what generation it was, no matter where they came from. They just said like, "Oh, Kyogre's in this game too. Welcome to my team." So it's just the same thing every time. So by kind of limiting what you have, it forces you to try different things. But again, I want to emphasize how crucially big Terra types are, because that
Yeah.
changes everything, and you no longer have to be afraid of the same Pokemon with the same everything all over again. Like literally now, there's just so much variety, more than ever before, on what you can do in this game going forward, in my opinion, for Pokemon.
Yeah.
So I'd
And
like them
on
to add more.
yeah, and on one end, you would think that like uh, Terramaxing would be like a good compromise, where it's like, oh well, the game doesn't have a full dex anymore, but each Pokemon that's in the game has so much to offer that you don't even need all those Pokemon anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's true, but it also kind of makes me want those Pokemon back even more now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure.
Now,
Now, yes. Now, for sure.
it's like, yeah, cool, you gave us like a fuck ton of longevity for this game, but like, do you know how much more longevity you can have if all you would do was just make your Pokemon transferable?
It's just, think about it. The thing is that, like, the amount of variety now is insane. Going forward, it's endless. The more Pokemon you end, even more possibilities. The point I'm trying to make is, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, people can now truly start using any Pokemon competitively because typing is everything. Imagine a Shedinja that isn't a ghost type, you know? Like,
Well,
uh,
Ghost type is still kind of best for it, honestly.
yeah, but just the point is like, imagine it like a Shedinja that goes like normal type or something, or dark type, um, just something that they don't expect, and
Hey,
and um, just you could even you could even do that with Shedinja and keep it ghost type, But the point is that you have so much variety now. Um, um, so yeah, like I would like for them to do that, especially because I already saw an announcement that said that Metagross will not be in the game, who's my favorite Pokemon. I mean, literally, I'm sitting on it on my freaking main picture. But it's not going to be in this game, which is highly disappointing. But again, I'm trying to be positive, like, okay, maybe it's what they did with the last gen, where it was. Um, like a DLC Pokemon or something. But even if it ends up not being a Pokemon that ends up being like a DLC, I'm hoping that it can be transferred later on via Pokedex, like how we spoke about before. Um, so there's definitely those options for that. But also on top of that, um, I'm trying not to be negative.
I'll be there for you.
Yeah.
That's my whole thing.
Yeah. I know that's your whole spiel. Yeah. But at the same time, there's just so much going for this game right now that I'm not going to let that one thing deter me. Um, I will definitely be a little bit upset about it. But I guess I don't know. I could say I've lost kind of care per se of having every Pokemon in the game, but that was at least for Gen 8. That's how I felt. But now I'm at the point where I'm like, all right, it's been some time. You've had plenty of time. You're reusing a lot of the assets you used in other games, and it's great that you've perfected them. But it's time to add Pokemon back into the game.
Yeah.
Increase the dex, especially since the dex is bigger now. Like I'm looking to at least have 800 Pokemon. At least have 800 Pokemon in this game. Start off with 400 Dex if you need. Add another 200 per DLC, and then another DLC, another 200, whatever. But at least 800 Pokemon in this game, very least, because we're reaching 1,000, and so there's so many people who love certain Pokemon, and if you leave them out completely, that's just going to screw everyone over. And okay, Gen 8 doesn't get all those Pokemon added to there. That's fine. Um, that's fine. However, um, this is Gen 9. Gen 9, you should have made enough updates and efforts to make it so that people could add their favorite Pokemon in. So, um, if Pokemon Home can have them all, then this game should be able to house those codes as well. So, I would like that. If it doesn't show up, I will be upset. Will it deter me from getting the games? Absolutely not. But will it upset me? Absolutely. um, but yeah. So
Yeah. Honestly, the whole Gen 8 Pokemon thing, I skipped that gen mostly on principle. Like, I understand that there are lots of people out there that enjoy the game and it's fine and aren't bothered by the whole, like, the National Dex thing.
yeah,
But, like, just the shenanigans surrounding it,
yeah,
just felt scummy as fuck.
yeah,
It's like, what the hell's going on?
yeah. For
Like,
me, I tried to give it the benefit of the doubt, but that was that gen, not this one.
yeah. It also didn't help that Sun and Moon, and this is completely personal, but
Yeah.
like it's certain Sun and Moon, I didn't do a lot of transferring Pokemon between X and Y and Sun and Moon, so I kind of had already started fresh, going from that game into Sun and Moon. I didn't get to play the Ultra games, but going to Gen 8, I was hoping that I'd just be able to do what I normally do. It's like, it's good. I get to play through the game once, and then once I'm done, I can see what kind of fancy schmancy team that I can make out of my favorites that I've been holding on to for so long, that I've put so much time and effort to building up and training and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We didn't have all the super easy like EV training or IV manipulation or none of that.
Yeah.
I spent a fuck ton of time building my games.
Yeah.
And suddenly I just couldn't have it anymore.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I kind of went through that in my other games too. So, I know about that. And but I mean, this, just so that everyone in the community is aware, this is definitely not the first time this has happened. Um, Pokemon.
And I skipped those games too.
Yeah. Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, all of those were great games that you could not transfer crap out of into the newer games. So that did definitely happen then. What they ended up doing is kind of like doing like a digital version of them, kind of like a remake, but it's the same old game, but this time you could transfer them over digitally, which was not something you could do before. So that's definitely something that we've experienced. But even then, it's been some time now. Like, My whole spiel was this is a new gen console. This is a whole new, you know, platform they're creating from the ground up. So it's they're not going to have everything done on time. Trying to think as a game developer, I know how long it takes to create something good. So I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt for Gen 8. Gen 9 is a different story. At this point, you should have had plenty of time to get some work done. And I know you guys been working on other games too, but if you have heard over the last 3 years, at least, what the number one issue is, if you have not spent any focus on it, then any backlash after that is on you, you know? Because that's
And
been something that's been targeted for so long now.
yeah, and for me, it's like this feature is such a cornerstone to your franchise
Yeah,
that why the hell would you have not had like a future proofing method
yeah,
years ago?
yeah.
And they did. Like back in Gen 6, they're like, yeah, we're going to 3D so that we can like easily transfer these Pokemons over in the future, and then just one generation or two generations after that, they completely ditched that whole idea. It's like, what the fuck? Come
I
on.
like the concept of only introducing a limited amount early because it sets the tone for your new region. You know, I like the idea that um, this generation is going to primarily show. I don't know. Let's just go again. Let's just go with 400. 400 Pokemon that are specifically tailored for this map, for this area. I like that concept. It gives it a unique feel. It makes it so that when you see an Oddish, for example, you don't think, oh, Gen 1. You know, you see an Oddish and you think, oh, that's the unique grass type for Gen 9. Although it existed in Gen 1, it's part of the formula for this generation. So that concept to me works. That's what they did for Gen 3 as well. I thought it was great. And for every generation after that, I thought it was great. Um, but that's when once you complete the game, you can then unlock the national decks and then get everything you want, you know? So
Yeah,
yeah, so I feel like having a formula for the game is solid, but post game, yeah. Now, this game is a little different because your prior games, you just do your 8 gym challenges, get your championship, and boom, post game. This game has 3 completely separate stories that you have to play through, complete, and achieve before I would say you've officially gone to the quote unquote post game part of the game. Um, which is absolutely nuts. Like, think about that. 40 plus hours is one story in this game. And
well,
potentially,
yeah, it's not that crazy because, like, honestly, that is sort of what we've always been doing. It's just that we're not doing it all in a linear fashion.
yeah, but the thing is,
Now it's kind of
that's just for the gym badge storyline, though. That's not the
well,
crazy part. The other stuff. Okay, this is what I'm saying. Typically, yes, other Pokemon games also have small mini side things for you to do in the middle of your gameplay that you can complete in order to, you know, achieve what you want to. For example, the beauty contests or whatever, you know, gimmick they had that goes kind of along with gym challenges. They kind of have those things too. However, they've never been emphasized like this as their own storied adventure. This is, to me at least, the first time that they have gone out of their way to express yes, your gym challenge is one option, but you have 2 other fully fledged stories that'll take their own journey, their own work progress, their own achievements to do for you to complete. Now, I don't know if they're going to be as long as the gym badge challenge, but I can feel confident saying, based on how they're stressing this, that's at least 20 hours each. So you got your 40-hour,
oh yeah,
gym badge challenge, and then another 20 for the other challenge, and then another 20 for the other challenge. Collectively, you're looking at 80 plus hours for this, and in between all the roaming around you're going to be doing, you know, um, you could easily hit 100 hours just in story progression, simply story progression. Um, And
That's
then
like half a Persona playthrough.
yeah. So
That's a lot.
yeah. Yeah. So, and again, this is just story progression. This isn't post game. This isn't competitive building. This is strictly story progression to, do what you got to do to complete the game. Um, and I don't know how much they took from Breath of the Wild in terms of things you could do, but that's a long game, Like, I know people that have put hundreds of hours into that game before they even went to fight the boss, or people that beat the boss in 20 hours and then played for another 600 hours just because they want to, do things. So I don't know how much from that they've taken, but it looks like they've definitely focused on longevity for this game. And for that reason, I feel like this game is just going to have so much to offer in the long run.
I also wanted to address something you said earlier because you said something that sparked an interesting thought.
Yeah.
So like you're talking about how this new generation is kind of scary because I don't remember exactly the reasons, but I thought about it, and I think that fear is good because it's something that we didn't really get to have growing up following Pokemon. Pokemon had always been this pristine, like, fucking AAA game that everyone always expected to do well. And, yeah, there are a lot of expectations riding on this game, and it makes it does make it concerning whether they're actually going to deliver.
Yeah.
But I think with what they've shown us, and the fact that Sword and Shield kind of disappointed a lot of people. As much shit as I talk about Sword and Shield, I appreciate what it's kind of doing for the future of Pokemon because now Game Freak has a fire under their ass.
Yeah.
And now they're doing what needs to be done to make sure that these games are quality.
Exactly.
Which is something that they never had before. This whole thing started was because we didn't have any expectations on Pokemon because we always knew that the games were going to be good.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until they decided that, like, oh, we're just not going to have national races. It's like, well, what the fuck? Like, we had no expectations and we're still disappointed.
Yeah.
That was the one thing that we expect to be there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, now Pokemon fans feel the same as anybody who gets a sequel to their favorite game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, this is normal. This is shit that we have to feel all the time. It's like, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good because now it's like, now Game Freak feels that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, we got to do good now.
But the cool thing is, on top of that, is we are getting so much more than before. Where before it was a copy and paste of the same product and just some new Pokemon to add to it, which has always been a great formula. If it's not broken, don't fix it. But although that has been great, it's true. Times are changing. Things need to evolve. And what they're doing to this game franchise, I think, is working. I think adding new mechanics, new things you could do in the game overall, the exploration, the Pokemon, the stories, everything that they're doing for this game going forward, I think it is the right direction. I think it is the future of Pokemon. And if they are committed to changing the volume of amount of Pokemon that are in a game because they feel like it's just too much for one game to handle, and if it's truly something they are committed to limiting going forward, I think that, yes, if you're going to limit this one part of a game, then you better fucking excel. Like, I'm talking about way overdo everything else, You got to make it so that everything else that I'm about to experience overshadows something that I've counted on for so long, you know? You got to show
Yeah,
me
that's the
that
other thing.
this formula works. If you can show me this formula works, then I can still feel bad or sad about the lack of Pokemon, but I can still also be grateful for the abundance of work you've put into this game to make it worthwhile regardless.
Yeah, and that was the other problem with Sword and Shield. Like, it wasn't just that we lost like a fuck ton of Pokemon, but
Yeah.
we didn't even get anything back in exchange for it. Like,
I
everything else about Sword and Shield, from what I've seen at least, is still kind of just box standard Pokemon. It's like, what the fuck?
It is a good game, but to me, it really is more of an experimental game. The same way that Legends of Arceus is, I feel like they've taken different things that they've wanted to try, and they kind of made something to see how it works and how they can implement it best. And I feel like this game is taken every little thing that those games they've made thus far, how it's made them good, they've worked on it to make it even better, and then they put it all together into one compilation of what they feel is the best product of a Pokemon game going forward into the future. And maybe this could be the recipe that they stick with from now on for a core title Pokemon game that they feel works. They feel they can get longevity out of this. They feel they can get enough connectivity and use of the online system, because that's something that they also have to incorporate, not just your competitive battling, but just connecting online overall for the majority of the time. They've made it so that you literally can adventure with your friends, up to 3 other friends, the entire game from beginning to end. So they're creating a formula that truly utilizes the system as best as it can, um, while keeping it interesting. So that's why, although in the back of my mind, I know that the National Dex is still a big question mark, I feel like they are saying, yes, it is a question mark, but look at everything we've compiled together and have adjusted and made better so that you can still have a great gameplay experience in the future. And
Yeah,
because of that, I'm not so deterred going forward. I feel like I feel like they're trying to tell us, yes, we're compromising the decks, but we're gonna make a hell of a lot of changes to make the game worthwhile for you anyway. In the long run, please stick with us. That's the impression I'm getting off of this.
yeah, and that's my favorite part about these two trailers is what they don't say and what they don't tell us.
Yeah.
Because what they're showing us is really good.
Yeah.
So like, as long as you shut the fuck up, don't compromise yourselves, we're good. You already sold me. You already have my money. Just don't fuck it up.
So yeah, so those are some of the main points there. Um, really quickly, the next point I wanted to get into, like, it's the legendaries.
Can we legendaries really?
uh,
Because here's my thing. These two are sure as fuck not the legendaries of this game. I would equate them to maybe like
mascots, Latias and Latios, like.
Yeah, they're the box art Pokemon.
Yeah.
I don't think these are the legendaries of the game. And like maybe yes, they're probably classified as legendaries.
Yeah,
but they're
yeah.
not the legendaries. That,
yeah.
By the end of the game, it's like, oh, we're gonna get off our bike Pokemon and start fighting them for the end game. Like no. There's gotta be some bigger, better.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. That's the other thing. One of the main formulas is play the whole game, encounter the legendary Pokemon that you want to use, capture it, add it to your team, boom, you're good. But you literally start off with these guys from the beginning to traverse through your whole game. I don't know if you learn things from them slowly. For example, they're the essential HMs and TMs of this game. I don't know if they learn them through progression, but at the end of the day, um, they are the ones who do it all with, and so you need them in your party at least 20 hours in. which is still very early on for a game this size. Which means that I'm not sure I can say that these are the big legendaries you're gonna catch in the end. I mean, you've already used them.
Yeah, what's interesting is that there's no battle footage of them whatsoever.
Yeah, there's...
So it's like,
yeah,
they are almost strictly vehicles. It's like Sun and Moon, where you have the Fly Charizard,
yeah.
the Tauros, and it's like, these aren't your Pokemon.
Yeah.
Basically renting them for travel.
Yeah. So it's like I said, they look cool, but I even made a joke about it in my review video where I was just like, we have deity Pokemon, land transforming Pokemon that traverse through time, Pokemon that literally create time and space. And then we have motorcycles, you know?
Pokemon battles on motorcycles. Pokemon battles on motorcycles.
You said 5DX is finally here. Oh man, I died when you said that. Pokemon 5DX.
5DX was the shit.
That was so funny, man. No, that's that. But that's the thing. Like, don't get me wrong. They look super cool. Their concept is cool. The fact that you get to use them early is cool for traversing. That's all great and all. But at the end of the day, I don't know if they feel like the...
Definitely not.
Yeah. If they are, they better have a hell of a way of showing why they are in the end, you know? Like, at the end of the game or post right before you get to that point where you would normally capture a Pokemon, I don't freaking know. Something happens with them. Something that makes them worthwhile to being like, oh, shoot, this is it. They're super cool now or something. I don't know. Something. But, yeah, as of right now, to me, it's just very... They're okay. They're okay legendaries.
I find it interesting that just beyond what they are specifically in their design, they didn't really go into the past and future aspects of the game, if there even is one.
Yeah. So...
Because last time I remember you mentioned that like you were theorizing that there was going to be time travel.
Yeah.
And like, obviously Terramaxing has nothing to do with that. I will say though, like, Diamond and Pearl, and now we can crystallize our Pokemon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Another thing I noticed.
What's up?
There's a section of this trailer. I think it's when they were showing off the Terramaxing initially.
Yeah.
Did you notice that they were showing off a lot of Gen 2 Pokemon? Like back to back?
Let's see.
Because Whisper has a new form. It's in here somewhere. There's like
4 minutes in, I think.
There's a Lechonk. There's a Hoppip. There's a Houndour. There's a Donphan, all in a row. It's a lot of Gen 2 in here. I don't know. Do you think that might be something?
Like I said, one of my favorite things about having a small dex is that you can really create a formula for what fits there. But yeah, you're right. I'm looking at it now. Donphan, Houndour, Hoppip. Yeah, there's a lot of Gen 2 stuff that they're showing off. But I feel like that's good. You're showing a unique formula of what Pokemon to expect in this game. And I feel like Gen 2 kind of gets overlooked a lot because it's, I think, the smallest gen we have so far. So it's nice to see them incorporate it. Hopefully they have...
what else isn't Gen 2, though?
What?
Celebi.
My boy Celebi.
You know what Celebi does?
Time travel. That's right. That's right. Oh, that's so cool. I just realized something. What is it?
Don't do shit while you watch.
if you're looking, yeah. Go to 5 minutes and 6 seconds into the trailer, and as you're battling the Gardevoir, her face is reflected on the crystals in the background.
Oh,
That's so
he's
cool.
yeah.
That's so cool. I didn't notice that before.
I also believe that if one of the Pokemon Terramaxes during the raid battle, it'll automatically Terramax the rest of the party.
Mm.
It seemed that way. It might have been an editing trick, but like,
Well, yeah, I see what you're talking about because they all went grass. But at the same time, I don't know if they all chose to go grass because it's strong against water, you know?
yeah,
So
who
that's a good
knows?
point. That's a good point. However, that's something else that they mentioned that they worked on was really making the experience of a raid battle much better compared to Gen 8. So that's something else I'm really excited for is to see how much more efficient and fun they've made this version of raiding going forward as well. Um,
Another another thing though, I know I'm getting super ahead of myself because
yeah,
we're just getting this Gen 9, but
yeah.
do you think that maybe in the future, like Gen 10 onward, Pokemon could possibly transition into ATV battles instead of turn based?
Final Fantasy did it.
And Final Fantasy did it and then did it in reverse and then went back to it back and forth. But like, this is Pokemon, you
Yeah.
know, the most traditional game out there with all the traditions and all the formulas.
Yeah.
Like, would they be willing to break that?
It's
They're kind of
not
already doing it.
it's not far fetched. But but I don't think it'll happen right away. I think they experimented a little bit with that in Legends of Arceus, but I still think that they are. Mm, I still think they are not so confident about that in the long run, which is why they didn't implement it into this game. Um, but maybe later on, if they tried it once, I'm not so sure they won't try again. Like let's say they do like a Legends of Arceus 2 or something like that. They might try that again, but with a more refined version of it, and try to gauge our experience on it, see how we like it. Because it might be something that they would like to implement. They might be trying to see if they can make it where, like, yeah, the Pokemon move around in battle, and so do you. So the only problem with that is if they give it too much flexibility, then difficulty might be something to deal with. And one thing Pokemon seems to be trying to get away from is difficult gaming. Like they're trying to make this as easy as possible for all the fans. So
But they've
if
already made it easy, like
I know,
several
I know,
generations in a
I know.
row.
The fact that's one thing I don't like is that your experience here is not going anywhere. So that's depressing. But outside of that, if they can find a formula to still make it easy in the long run, sure. But I don't like, for example, if you see like if you get a Pokemon game where you can run around and fight and do all those cool things, if you get the ability to do that, wouldn't you want the enemy Pokemon to also do that too? Otherwise, it feels boring, right? So I feel like on the one hand, yeah, I want that, but at the same time, it might be too difficult for the newer gamers, and they might not like it. So
Are you just talking about like traversing the map? Or,
no, just like in an actual Pokemon battle, the Pokemon kind of moving around battling you. I feel like that's the mechanic in itself might not be terribly hard for them to make, but I feel like that adds a level of difficulty into the actual battle mechanic that they are trying to stray away from. They want the game to feel as easy as possible. So by doing that, makes it a little harder. Like if you're fighting a Shedinja, for example, and that motherfucker is doing double team all day and agility, and you got a newbie trying to hit the right one, and he just keeps hitting the wrong one, and like Shedinja just like air slashing you over and over again. Next thing you know, Sprigatito's dead. You know, the player might not want to deal with that so much. um, so I think that might not be something. If they do, they'll make it like a half-ass version, the way that Legends of Arceus was, and that's just not a good formula. I think that's why they didn't put it into this game. So that's why it could happen, but I think they would have to really refine what they're looking for, which won't be for quite some time, I think. I have one more point to go over. It's the actual Pokemon.
Oh yeah, the new ones.
Yeah,
We
the
haven't
new
talked
Pokemon.
about
Yeah.
that
um, the first off, the one that caught my attention the most was Titan. Um, you've shown us two legendary dragon types, and then you've shown us what I presume to be a pseudo legendary ice type Pokemon. Everyone is going to be using Titan. So, yeah, that's first of all. I think Titan looks really cool. I'm really excited for that one. What about you? What Pokemon's caught your eye so far?
Say Fido.
Oh.
Fido is definitely the what was that sheep Pokemon from last gen? That's definitely that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's even I'm not immune to cuteness, man. Fuck.
Yeah, it's really, really cute. Also, backtracking a little bit, I just saw it in the trailer now. If I can go back to it. Okay, here we go. Let's go right here. I'm gonna pause it right there. Boom. In the trailer, they show a cave, but in the cave, it's high above the ground. You can't just walk in it through the regular grass area. Um, and I've noticed in the actual map as well that a lot of caves are like this. I don't know if all of them, but a lot of caves are like this, which tells me that caves are not something you can just go into right off the bat. It's something that you've got to um, acquire first, like the climbing from these Pokemon. You got to acquire that first, and then you'll be able to enter these caves, or flying or whatever it is. However, it is that you can land on this platform on the top of it, like right at the top before the entrance. That'll be the only way for you to actually enter these caves. So it tells me that you potentially you won't get every HM and TM experience through these by the motorcycles Pokemon right off the bat. It feels like you might have to earn those experiences with these Pokemon through gameplay and progression. And then eventually you could start rock climbing and making your way into the caves and stuff like that. So although it is a fully explorable game, there might be certain soft locks per se on certain areas that you might just have to get through some progression to unlock and go through. Which is not a terrible thing because you could still pretty much do everything else, but it makes it so that there's still something new to explore going forward in the game. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, like I don't know if it's just me, but like I think true open world isn't very interesting in general.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
just gonna plop you in a world and just do whatever the fuck
Yeah.
you want. I'd like to be enticed to go to certain
To
places
do something, yeah.
like even restricting me from going to certain places and then having me do shit to earn the way to do it to
Yeah.
go to those places.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'd rather have that than just like, oh, you just fly straight to the Elite Four and then harass them about how many badges you don't have for hours.
Like, fine, I'll battle you. Jesus, just leave me alone. That's so funny.
It would be hilarious if they do the Breath of the Wild type deals. You can go straight to the end of the game.
Yeah.
Just go to Elite Four. They'll let you in even if you don't have any badges, but they can destroy you.
Yep.
Like, alright.
Yep. So, yeah, but yeah, these Pokemon, I'm really interested to see what Pokemon are in this game. There's some Pokemon that they've shown. Um, Go-Goat is back, which I'm really excited about. um, uh, Hatini, the evolution line for that. I'm really excited to see that here too. Um, yeah, there's a lot of really cool Pokemon here. Everyone loves Lechonk. I don't understand why. I mean, it's kind of cute, I guess, but I mean, it's all about Fido.
Ironically.
Fido is literally like doe ears, like super cute.
And the pun. Don't
Yeah.
forget about the pun.
Yeah, that's so good. Um, but yeah, those are the points I had. Did you have anything else?
Yeah, honestly, I came super underprepared.
Oh,
When
okay.
you said like 5 topics each, it's like, bro, we have like a half hour.
Well, I think we did pretty good with the 5 topics I had, so I think we're all right. But that was pretty good. Yeah, a lot of interesting Pokemon here. The Wooper Peldian form looks pretty cool too. It's gonna be Poison Ground, which at first sounds good, but then you remember, oh my God, Ice will annihilate it. but um, but yeah, no, it's a lot of cool stuff here. This Pokemon game has to show us. I'm really, really excited for it. I think that this is going to be one of the few Pokemon games that is going out of its way to provide us with as much content as possible for us to be able to enjoy going forward, which is really nice. So, yeah, hopefully, hopefully, it's gonna at least give us what we see, and it's going to be a fun game. And when I do my playthrough, you bet your ass we're going to be playing that game together. We're going to have a couple more people join
uh,
us, and we're going to be going through the playthrough together. So that'll be really fun and exciting, right?
we're gonna twist Cat's arm.
Yeah.
It's
um,
like we're all playing this together.
exactly. What version of the game do you think you're going to be getting first?
Oh yeah, I'm getting Scarlet. That's been a tradition of mine
Oh,
since
interesting.
forever. I've
Ev-
always gotten the version with the warmer color. So like
Gotcha.
red, gold.
Yeah, yeah,
I skipped Gen 3, but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, sun,
Yeah,
white.
yeah, yeah. I've been the same way, honestly, and I'm thinking the same thing. But last generation was the first time I chose the other because specifically um, the exclusives. So I think that that's what's gonna make this decision for me again this time because I like both bicycles, and if really that's the main difference, then who cares? Because I like them both. But to me, it'll be the exclusive. What exclusive interests me more? If I can get the exclusive that, for example, for me, Surfetch is pretty cool, but the Galarian Ponyta, I just could not have it. So I definitely went for that one. Um, but yeah, if whichever has the exclusive that interests me the more, that'll be the one that I play on my playthrough for stream. So that'll be what I do there.
Didn't do that.
Yeah,
That would require me to know what's in the game going in, and it's like, nah,
yeah,
I can't. I gotta go in blind. I
yeah.
will say though, the one thing that pisses me off about Koraidon is that he has these giant ass wheels
I
fucking
know.
attached to him, and he doesn't fucking use them. Why? They only look stupid because he doesn't use them.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's so funny.
now you look like an idiot.
Oh no! If only you had wheels to traverse with.
It looks so cool. I prefer it over Miraidon, but it
Yeah.
don't use its own fucking.
Uh,
Damn it.
oh well. Anyway, but yeah, that was the podcast, and again, thank you everyone for tuning in. Um, again, if you enjoyed this podcast, please drop a like, a follow. We really appreciate this kind of support. It helps the content. If you like the content, let us know. And of course, the social media is all linked below. So if you guys want to go ahead and follow us, by all means. Um, I'll also put in the comment section the link for Hakame Tenshi's channel. If you want to go ahead and follow him, you can go ahead and do that. Show some support for them as well. And yeah, outside of that, I think we're good, right?
Yeah, I did want to bring up one thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should like during this podcast. I don't want
What's up?
people to like get their hopes up or anything, but I will put out a possible suggestion for a future discussion.
Okay.
I know not a lot has happened between then and now, but we haven't talked about Kingdom Hearts since the first podcast in a while.
Yes.
And I know we only got like the one Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, and maybe we might get some Dark Road news by this year. But I think going back to that might be fun.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm all about it. I've unfortunately not had a chance to really go over too much Kingdom Hearts stuff recently, but it's one of my favorite games. So by all means, I'm gonna go ahead and look at some of that stuff and make some more topics to discuss, and then we'll do another hour video. Probably. How does next week Friday sound?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. All right. So there you have it, guys. Next week Friday, this time we're gonna do another podcast. Is going to be on Kingdom Hearts. This time, Kingdom Hearts 4, and the information we currently have for it, and what we're looking forward to in the future in regard to the game series. So yeah, that sounds exciting. Really, really exciting going forward. But yeah, all right. Aside of that, thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. Again, my name is Jose, aka Drark. That is Hakubetenshi, and aka Angel, and we are the Drark Angel Podcast. Until next week, Friday.
Get it? 'Cause it's like Dark Angel.
Yeah, Dark Angel. Yeah.
Attention, Angel part.
All right, guys.
Everybody got that.
All right, guys. Until next time, this was aka Dark. I'll see ya.
Peace.